I was watching Mohammed Hijab. I was watching your debate with Edward Habash,
Yes.
and he was trying to refute the contingency argument.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't. I'm going to quote to you his refutation,
Yeah.
and I want you to explain to me what his refutation is because I can't understand and
Yes.
why his refutation is incorrect.
Okay.
So, end quote. He says a necessary fact cannot explain a contingent fact without introducing a fact in need of explanation. If a necessary fact cannot explain a contingent fact except by entailing it, because any fact entailed by a necessary fact must itself be necessary. However, the necessary fact does not entail the contingent fact, then the explanatory connection it has to the contingent fact must be a contingent one, which introduces a new contingent fact in need of explanation. And if the defender of the
All right,
argument
hold
replies,
on. Sorry. Go back.
uh,
Go back 3 sentences. Go back three
with
sentences.
uh, the it has to the contingent fact must be a contingent one, which introduces a new contingent fact in need of explanation.
All right, start again from the beginning. Sorry, I apologize. I was not concentrating fully. Let me
Sure,
let me let me write this down so that I'm sure that got a pen.
sure. Okay.
Yeah, give me a second.
Even I wrote it down myself.
All right, so let's hear what he has to say. Go ahead.
Okay, so a necessary fact cannot explain a contingent fact without introducing a fact in need of explanation.
Without
If
without what?
without without introducing
Mm-hmm.
a contingent fact in need of explanation.
Oh,
Necessary fact
one
cannot explain-
second. One second.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's do one at a time. Otherwise, it's impossible. Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's deal with that one.
All right.
A necessary fact cannot explain a contingent fact. Okay, without introducing a contingent fact in need of explanation. Okay, this already is a mischaracterization of the argument that's put forward on two grounds. Okay, because otherwise you're just going to read all of what he has to say. This first sentence, already for me, and I remember writing this down when we had the debate in California at that time, and seeing what he's trying to say. But look, first of all, we're not talking about necessary facts. We're talking about necessary existences. So here's what we need to distinguish between. Okay, you have these universals, or you can call them transcendental universals. You can call them categories, master key categories. So, for instance, if I say a master key category, or you can even call them genuses. Okay, genus. Yeah. So, for instance, let's say a master key category is fatherhood. Okay, fatherhood. Or let's say another master key category is existence. Okay. You can say another master key category is facts. Now, facts and existences are not the same thing. They're not interchangeable. My argument was never based on facts, what's a necessary fact and what's a contingent fact. And this is very important. The category that I was talking about was not the category of necessary facts or contingent facts. The category which is important that needs to be paid attention to is existence. So already this is it's mischaracterization of the argument, yeah? Because he says a necessary fact cannot explain a contingent fact without introducing contingent fact in need of explanation. Okay, well, we're not talking about necessary facts and contingent facts. The only part of that debate which I remember talking about necessary facts was when I said 2 + 2 = 4 is a necessary fact. But I was using that as an analogy for necessary existences, not as interchangeable with it, which is a very important misconception I think I need to clarify, right? So there's a difference between facts and existences. Why do we have to deal with existences? Because existences is the base of everything. That my argument started, and this is not actually my argument, but let's be honest, it's the argument of Avicenna. It starts with, there is no doubt that there is existence. Okay? There's no shak, there's no doubt that there is wujud, there is existence. Wujud is different to facts. Wujud is existence. Yeah? So the master key category that or the universal, the transcendental universal that I'm dealing with here is not the transcendental universal of facts. I am dealing with the transcendental universal of existences. Number one. So let's rephrase this. If he says a necessary existence cannot explain, instead of saying what he said, which is a necessary fact. So if we recharacterize it as per what we're talking about, which is the category of existence, let's see if his argument has any weight. A necessary existence cannot explain a contingent existence without introducing a contingent existence in need of explanation. That's false. That's not true. How is that true? He has to, that's a claim that's unevidenced. He's saying that a necessary existence cannot explain a contingent existence. Let's say that because he's got it wrong. Facts and existences are two different things. A necessary existence cannot explain a contingent existence without introducing a contingent existence in need of explanation. That's absolutely false. We believe that the necessary existence is the cumulative result, okay, of reasoning from contingency. So what he's supposing is that we're starting from necessity and arguing back to contingency. But what we're actually doing, or what we actually have done, is we have started from contingency and argued towards necessity. The way the argument, the form of the argument, which he has mischaracterized, is not that, because this would be a circular argument. If we said that the necessary existence explains contingent existences, well, that would exactly be begging the question. That would be me putting the first premise as the conclusion. So that's not the way that we have argued in the debate, and this is not the contingency argument. The contingency argument says there cannot be a world with only possible existences. This is what it's saying. It's saying that a world, it's inconceivable, and this is called argumentum ad absurdum. Okay, argumentum ad absurdum is to let's try and conceive of a world with only possible existences, or to be specific, let's try and conceive of a series of things, existent things, wherein all of those series are contingently existent, not necessary existence. We will say that such series cannot exist without something outside of it, which is necessary in order to explicate it or explain it, or that the series itself has to be necessary, in which case we will say, how could it be when it can be rearranged, or that you can conceive of adding and subtracting to it. So that's the form of the argument. So in other words, to say that a necessary fact cannot explain a contingent fact without introducing a contingent fact in need of explanation, number one, is mischaracterization on two counts, because that's not the form of the argument. We have not even mentioned the words. Facts is not what we were talking about. We were talking about existences. That's number one. Number two, we weren't arguing in a circle. We weren't arguing from necessary existence to contingent existence. Indeed, we were in fact doing the exact opposite of that, which is arguing from contingency to necessity. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.